Hello and welcome to a random thing that me and DeWilsonator decided to do out of the blue. We're going to be reading a fanfiction, but with many different voices throughout the entirety of our fanfiction reading. Every other paragraph, we are going to try and change the voice by having the person who's not going to be reading describe a voice and then I'll try to, if DeWilsonator describes a voice, I'll try to replicate that voice to the best of my ability for the entire paragraph.
And then vice versa for me.
Yes, vice versa. All right, so without further ado, let's describe a voice. Deep, gruff, and menacing.
Cupcakes by Sergeant Sprinkles, the world's greatest party clown. Edited by Eden Pony. Warning, this fanfiction is incredibly gory and may ruin your appreciation of a certain My Little Pony character, as well as the titular baked goods. Read at your own risk.
Mid-range, nasal, with a lisp.
The air was warm, the sun was shining, and every pony in Ponyville was having a glorious day. The town square was bustling and crowded, and busy ponies filled the streets. All the pony folks seemed to have somewhere specific to be. That is, all except Rainbow Dash. Her place was in the sky. She tore freely through the air, speeding one way to the next, buzzing the treetops and racing the wind. She swooped over a schoolyard, much to the delight of the children, then climbed several hundred feet and dove, streaking downwards as fast as she could. Seconds before hitting the ground, her wings flew open, and she pulled back up into the clear blue. Rainbow felt alive.
High-pitched and Irish.
Suddenly, Dash remembered that she had somewhere to be. She was supposed to meet with Pinkie Pie in 5 minutes. Dash had gotten so caught up in her exercises that she'd nearly forgotten that Pinkie had asked her to meet her at Sugar Cube Corner at 3. Pinkie hadn't said why or what they'd be doing, but Dash knew that with Pinkie, it could be anything. Dash wasn't sure if she really wanted to go, though. She was so engaged with her stunts that she thought about blowing Pinkie off to continue flying. But Dash's conscience got the better of her. She knew that it would hurt Pinkie's feelings after all. Pinkie had said it was going to be something special just for the two of them. Dash considered it and thought, why not? What did she have to lose? Heck, it might be more pranking. Pinkie might have fought...
Blooper. Yeah.
Pinkie might have found a bunch more fun stuff to pull on folks, and they had so much fun the last time. Dash kicked into overdrive and make up... Dash kicked into overdrive to make up for lost time and sped to her appointment.
Fatherly, angry-sounding, and French.
When Dash walked into the store, she was immediately greeted with her host, who was bouncing in excitement. "Yay, you're here! I've been waiting for you all day," said the jumping pony. "Sorry I'm a little late, Pinkie. I was doing my afternoon exercises and I lost track of time," Dash apologized. Pinkie giggled and responded in a gleefully reassuring tone. "Oh, that's okay. You are here now. What's a few more minutes? I've been so excited thinking about all the fun stuff we're going to do. I haven't stopped bouncing since I woke up. I mean, I almost forgot to breathe. I've been so happy."
Southern, very deep and gruff.
Dash gave a slightly uncomfortable laugh. She had always appreciated Pinkie Pie's friendly, outgoing way of life, but Pinkie's overabundant enthusiasm almost creeped her out. Dash maintained a polite expression, however. If Pinkie was this worked up, whatever she had planned must have been good. "So, you ready to get started, Rainbow Dash? I got everything all ready," the pink pony said.
A bit high-pitched and Japanese.
Dash psyched herself up. You betcha, Pinkie. So, what you got planned? We gonna prank somebody? I got a couple of good ones I've been thinking about. Or maybe you got some stunts I should try. Or perhaps making cupcakes. Pinkie happily announced. Baking? Dash was disappointed. Pinkie, you know I'm not good at baking. Remember the last time?
Mid-tone Russian.
Oh, that is not a problem at all. I only need your help making them. I'll be doing most of the work, Pinkie explained. Dash thought about it for a second. Well, alright. I guess that's okay. What exactly do you need me to do? That's the spirit. Here you go. Pinkie handed Dash a cupcake.
Mafia Godfather type gangster from Brooklyn.
Dash was puzzled. I thought I was helping you bake. You will be. I made this one just for you before you got here. So, is this like a taste test or something? Sorta, Pinkie said. Dash shrugged and popped the pastry into her mouth. She chewed for a bit and swallowed. Not bad. Okay, what now? Dash asked. Now, Pinkie informed her, you take a nap. Puzzled, Dash opened her mouth but felt instantly lightheaded. A wave of dizziness washed over her. The world spun, and seconds later she collapsed on the floor.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Swedish is the next accent. I know that one for sure. So
Oh boy, okay. From when Dash to into her line of sight.
yes.
Wait.
And then
When Dash regained consciousness, she found herself in the dark room. She tried to shake her head, but found that the taut leather strap held her firmly in place. She struggled to move, but braces around her chest and limbs glued her to a rock formed from a series of sturdy planks, which spread her legs wide apart. Dash's wings were the only part of her not tied down, and they fluttered frantically while she struggled to escape. As she arrived, Pinkie jumped suddenly into her line of sight.
Latino hairdresser.
Okay. Goody, you're awake. Now we can get started, Pinkie stated gleefully. She bounded into the darkness and quickly reappeared pushing a small cart covered with a cloth. Pinkie, what is going on? I can't move, Dash said urgently. Well, duh, that's because I tied you down, chided Pinkie. That's why you can't move. I didn't think you needed to be told that. But why? What's happening? I thought you said I was going to help you make cupcakes. Oh, you are helping. You see, I ran out of the special ingredient and I need to get more. Special ingredient? Dash was now breathing heavily and started to panic. What special ingredient? High-pitched and very Looney Tunes-like.
Pinkie giggled and responded, "Oh, you silly!" Dash's eyes widened, and her face contorted into fear. Then she started to laugh and said, in a voice bordering on hysteria, "Woo! You really got me there, Pinkie Pie. I mean, tricking me into thinking I was going to be made into a cupcake? I'm going to tell you, this is the best prank yet. You win. You're the best." Pinkie only giggled even more. "Oh, thanks, Dash, but I haven't done any pranks today. Can't accept your praise."
An old man with a rasp.
Dash was struggling again. "Pinkie, come on. This isn't funny." "Then why are you laughing?" Before Dash could answer, Pinkie grabbed the cloth and whipped it off the cart. On the cart was a tray containing various sharp medical tools and knives, carefully organized and wickedly sharp, as well as a large medical bag. Dash was now in full panic mode. She was starting to hyperventilate. Her mind raced as she tried to reason with the pink pony. "You can't do this, Pinkie. I'm your friend."
Low-pitched drama queen. Let's go with that.
"I know you are, and that's why I'm so happy that I've got you here. We get to share your last moments together, just you and me." Pinkie was skipping again. "But the other ponies will wonder where I am. When the clouds pile up, they'll come looking for me, and then you'll get found out.
Dash cried in desperation. "Oh, Dash," said Pinkie. "Don't worry. There are plenty of Pegasus ponies to take care of a few clouds. And besides, no one will find you. I mean, how long do you think I've been doing this?" And with that ominous statement, the light suddenly came to life and revealed the rest of the room. Like a secretary type of person who is, like, she is incredibly bored of her job. It's like, "Mr. Herman, your coffee, sir."
Oh no, Dash reeled in horror at the image presented to her. The room was decorated with the typical but twisted Pinkie Pie flair. Colorful streamers of dried entrails fluttered around the room and ceiling. Brightly painted skulls of all sizes were attached to the walls, and organs done up in pastels filled with helium were tied to the backs of the chairs. The tables and chairs were made of bones and the preserved flesh of past ponies. Dash cringed upon seeing the centerpiece of one of the tables nearest to her. The heads of 4 foals, their eyes closed like they were sleeping, were wearing party hats made of their own skin. With a thrill of terror, Dash recognized one of them as Applebloom's classmate, Twist. Dash's eyes darted back and forth, and then fell upon a patchwork banner hanging from the rafters. Made from several tanned pony hides, the words "Life is a Party" were scrawled on it in blood red.
Horribly dramatic.
Dash's attention was brought back by a party horn, unfurling and tickling her nose. She gaped at Pinkie Pie, who was standing right in front of her. The party pony was wearing a dress quilted from dried skin, embalsamed with cutie marks. On her back fluttered 6 Pegasus wings, all of different colors. As the Earth Pony skipped in excitement, her necklace of severed unicorn horns clacked together loudly. "Like it?" Pinkie asked. "I made it myself!" Desperately, Dash pleaded with the smiling pony before her. "Pinkie, please! I'm sorry if I did anything to you! I didn't mean it! Please let me go! I promise I won't tell anybody!" Drill Sergeant.
Oh, Dash, you didn't do anything. It's just that your number came up and, well, I don't make the rules. We can't turn back now. Dash was tearing up now. How could this be happening? "Oh, don't be sad, Dash," said Pinkie. "Look, this'll cheer you up. I brought you a friend." Seemingly out of nowhere, Pinkie produced a brightly colored blue and yellow skull. It was about pony-sized, but it had a very defining feature, a beak. Dash gasped in shock. Is that?
Shy, not looking forward to. It's kind of like you're very uneasy.
"Hey, Dash, let's hang together. These ponies are lame-os. Dweebs. Pinkie mimicked. "I caught her right before she left town. Remember when I left the party for about 20 minutes? That wasn't enough time to play with her, of course. I had to wait till after the party to do that. But boy, am I glad I did. It was worth it for the flavor alone. Griffins taste like 2 animals at once. It's amazing. I know she didn't have a number like everyone else in Ponyville, but when was I gonna get another chance to try Griffin? I probably should have asked where she came from so I could have gotten more, but I forgot. I'll tell you what, though. She was quite the fighter. She lasted a long time, which was a lot of fun for me. I got the chance to play with someone other than a pony and try new things. It's too bad she had such a meaty mouth. She said so much bad stuff. I just had to take her tongue out. You know, bad language makes for bad feelings, Rainbow Dash.
Nothing.
Jamaican.
Dash didn't have anything to say. She just sobbed and writhed in pain at the tight bonds. Well, said Pinkie Pie with an air of finality. That's enough reminiscing. It's time to begin. Putting down Gilda's head, the pink pony grabbed a scaffold in the cleft of her hoof and walked over to Rainbow Dash's right flank. Without any flair, Pinkie placed the blade an inch above Dash's cutie mark and began a circular cut around it. Dash shouted in pain and tried desperately to pull away, but the braces held her still. Finishing the incision, Pinkie grabbed the curved skinning knife from a tray. Screwing up her face in concentration, she worked under Dash's skin and sliced the hide away from the muscle. Dash ground her teeth as she tearfully watched the flesh peel off. Pinkie then moved to her other side and repeated the process on Rainbow Dash's left flank. Once she had finished, Pinkie held up the 2 cutie marks in front of her friend and started waving them like pom-poms. Dash just whimpered. Her thighs burned like nothing she'd felt before. Nasally mid-tone, Cockney accent.
Placing the ragged patches of skin down, Pinkie selected a large butcher knife and walked behind the blue Pegasus. Happy don't mind, I think I'm gonna wing it now. Pinkie laughed. She grabbed Dash's left wing in her mouth and played with it for a few seconds, yanking it back so the sharp pain reignited the fire in Dash's flanks. Then, stretching the wing out, Pinkie brought the blade down hard at the base. Instantly, Dash screamed and thrashed her appendage. The movement threw off Pinkie's aim. She tried to hit the mark again, but missed, and cut a huge slice into Dash's back. Dash, you gotta stay still, or I'll keep missing, scolded Pinkie as her friend howled. Pinkie took another whack and hit the target. She swung again and again. Blood sprayed into the air, but Pinkie realized she wasn't getting anywhere. The blade just wasn't going through the bone.
You know what? Because old habits die old, you're Looney Turtle.
I guess I forgot to sharpen it. I'll try something else, stated Pinkie matter-of-factly as she tossed the knife over her shoulder, embedding the blade into the table. Through the haze of pain and tears, Dash heard a sound of the metal box opening and closing. Got it. Say, Dash, why do you think they call it a hacksaw? It doesn't hack. Hacking's what I was doing with the knife. This is a saw. I don't get it. Pinkie placed the tool over the mangled flesh in a last attempt. Standing on her hind legs, she worked the saw back and forth with her front hooves. It sliced effortlessly through the bone and skin. The feeling of the jagged teeth grinding into her made Dash want to vomit. She watched numbly as her wing flew over her head and landed with a fluff on the table. Pinkie moved to the next wing and started sawing. Dash didn't struggle this time. She'd given up on trying to fight and focused on choking back screams of agony. Abruptly, the sawing paused. Pinkie was only halfway through the bone, the wing hanging off by a sliver.
Stereotypical gay, high-pitched voice.
Hey, Dash! Pinkie piped up. Think fast! Suddenly, Pinkie yanked the wing as hard as she could. The bone snapped, but the blue pony skin held and tore away. The pull ripped away a long string of flesh all the way down Dash's back to her rump. Ooh! Her body seized the unexpected trauma. As her pelvis tensed up, Dash felt a warm release between her legs. Ew! And her loud, unending melody of pain filled the room. Unable to catch her breath, she blacked out. Don LaFontaine movie trailer voice.
Dash awoke with a gasp. The stench of her urine filled her mucus-caked nostrils. As her vision swam into focus, she saw a very pouty Pinkie Pie removing a large adrenaline needle from her chest. Stomping her hooves, the frustrated Pinkie lashed out at her helpless victim.
Okay, mid-tone, and very proper.
Didn't any pony teach you any manners? It's very rude to fall asleep when somebody is inviting you over to spend time with them. How would you like it if I came over to your house and went to sleep? Oh, I'm sorry, Dash. You're so boring, I think I'll take a nap. You think I like always doing this by myself? I told you how excited I got when I found you were next. I was excited to have a friend be here with me while I worked, but no! You've got to be inconsiderate! You know, I thought you were tough. I thought you could handle anything. I've had fools stand up better than you. Do I have to baby you? Huh? Is that how you want me to remember you? As a baby? Yeah, high-pitched with, Yeah, let's hear something from a basic falsetto.
As Pinkie stopped to catch her breath, Dash blinked and sobbed softly. Her back was in agony, and her sides were on fire, as there was an intense pain in one of her legs. As she blinked again, she saw Pinkie pop something into her mouth and began to chew. Noticing Dash's stare, Pinkie quickly gulped the morsel down. "What?" Pinkie asked. "Oh, this." She held up another piece. "Well, while you were asleep, I got a little impatient and helped myself to a small sample. I got it from your leg. You're not bad. Want to try some?"
As deep as you can go with Transylvanian.
Without waiting for a response, Pinkie shoved a strip of meat into the revolting Pegasus' pony's mouth. Dash gagged and immediately spat it out. Pinkie frowned and picked up the chunk of flesh. If you didn't want it, you could have said no. She contemplated the discarded snotty morsel, then gulped it up. It's not like you haven't had my cupcakes before. Swallowing, Pinkie turned her attention to a small can on the tray. She removed the lid, revealing that it was filled with red-hot coals. Lying on top of the coals were several large nails. As the adrenaline filled her veins, Dash began to panic again. Picking up the cane, Pinkie walked over to Dash's left. Holding some tongs with her mouth, Pinkie carefully picked up a nail and positioned it at the seam between her victim's front leg and hoof. She then grabbed the hammer and took careful aim.
Yeah, actually, man, but not the sort of raspy thing, but these damn whippersnappers, it's like they never heard of music from the 1950s.
Sort of like this, he's kinda just mad at the world.
And make him a bit Jewish.
A bit Jewish, okay, you want the Jewish, I'll do it,
What
okay.
are they thinking with the dancing and the singing, hey, Gewalt?
The hammer came down and the nail punctured Dash's skin. The white-hot burning was too much. Dash screamed and pulled and thrashed at the braces, causing the raw skin to rub and tear. Pinkie tried to line up the nail, but couldn't find her aim, and let out a frustrated grunt. When Pinkie brought the hammer back to take a wild swing, Dash burst out crying and begging, "Please stop! Please, please stop!" Pinkie rolled her eyes, putting down the hammer and tongs. She walked back to the front of her friend and stared pensively at the broken Pegasus. Gilda didn't even cry this much when I had a living pair of sprites shoved down her throat. Pinkie thought for another minute about what she wanted to do, then had a sudden spark of inspiration.
Try a hillbilly.
Rotating a wheel on the rack, Pinkie laid Dash on her back, then moved to Dash's hind legs, bringing the can with her. Picking up her tools, Pinkie drove a searing hot spike of metal directly into the bottom of Dash's hoof. As Dash yelled in pain, Pinkie moved around and drove a second nail into the other hoof. Next, Pinkie went back to her cart and located an enormous battery and controller, which she dragged over to where she was working. She tied copper wires between the terminals and the nails driven into Dash's hooves, and then gave Dash a wink and flipped the switch. Yahoo! Very, macho man superhero.
Electricity rocketed through Dash's body. The blue pony reacted immediately. Her body seized, and her muscles snapped taut. Dash's hips thrust skyward, her eyes rolled back, and she let out a deep, throat-throttling cry. Pinkie giggled and danced in place, then reached down and turned up the juice. Dash convulsed uncontrollably, and her bladder emptied once more. Nasally uninterested narrator.
After about 5 minutes, Pinkie shut off the power. Wisps of steam rose from the singed fur around Dash's hooves, and the area reeked of cooked flesh and burnt enamel. Pinkie rotated Dash upright again and tried to snap the drooling, delirious pony back to attention. Dash! Dash! Rainbow Dash, wake up! Dash moaned and managed to give a modicum of weak acknowledgement. Pinkie studied her handiwork, then reached into the medicine bag and produced a large syringe. All right, time for the last round. Okay, have you ever heard of a technique called the Sprague effect?
No.
But pretty much the Sprague effect is pretty much, hello, it's like just sort of arching your tongue up in the back, almost sort of like, Marvin the Martian, but, I mean, it's like...
Dash focused barely at the needle.
Something like that.
Yeah, go with that.
Dash focused barely at the needle, which Pinkie took as a question as to what it was. This is a little something to take away the pain, Pinkie informed Dash as she walked around to her victim's ruined back. Dash flinched as Pinkie jabbed the needle into the lower part of the blue pony's spine. Moving in front of her friend, Pinkie leaned down to elaborate. In a few minutes, you won't feel anything under your rib cage. Then you'll be able to stay awake for the harvest.
Angry cop.
Dash started to cry again. Pinkie! She choked out. Yeah? I want to go home! Dash sobbed. Yeah, I can see you wanting to do that, replied the party pony. Sometimes I just want to give up. Just say, I'm done with this mess and go to bed! But you know what? You can't shrug off your responsibilities. You gotta pull yourself up and meet the challenges head on. That's the only way you're gonna get ahead in life! Oh god. But you're so sexy it hurts.
Dash hung her head and cried. Minutes passed as the drug took effect. Eventually, Dash was completely numb from her chest to her flanks. At this point, Pinkie approached with a scalpel. Glancing at Dash and smiling, Pinkie made a long horizontal cut across the Pegasus pony's pelvis, just above her crotch. Moving up Dash's body, Pinkie made a similar incision under her ribs. Finally, Pinkie made a long vertical cut down Dash's stomach, connecting the first two.
Christopher Walken.
Looks like I got my eye on you, Dash. Pinkie giggled. With a moist, gooey sound, the flaps of skin opened. The sight of her own organs and lack of feeling caused Dash's breathing to intensify. Pinkie carefully sliced open Dash's abdominal sac and grabbed the large intestines. As she separated the organ from the rest of the digestive tract and pulled it out of the new cavity, Pinkie grew jovial. Laughing as she gutted a friend, Pinkie began to make jokes. Like funny jokes. Ha-ha type jokes. Tee-hee. Dash, grown weaker from this new source of blood loss, tried desperately to shut out the macabre comedy act.
Okay. Maybe I could try the same thing. I don't know if it's the same, though.
Look at me, I'm Rarity. Pinkie laughed, slightly slinging the intestinal tube around her neck and spraying blood in all directions. It's my new scarf. So pretty. Reaching back inside, she sliced the smaller intestine off from the bowels, squeezing out the excess excrement. Pinkie filled the slimy organ through her teeth and dragged it back and forth. Dentists say you gotta floss every day, Dash. Dash was barely aware of what was going on anymore. The shock was causing her to fade. Disappointed, Pinkie dived back into the blue pony's guts, ramping up her routine.
Aw, don't go, Dash. To Dash. So, a voice that's very much like what I just did. Oh, yes, you're going to do this.
Oh, don't you go, Dash. Pinkie started pulling out the rest of Dash's organs, pausing with each removal. I know it could be a real pancreas, but you know, I'm just kidney with you. You really got to learn to liver it up. Boy, these jokes are getting bladder. Guess you gotta develop a stomach for them. Oh God, what am I reading? Pinkie placed the discarded body parts into a bucket, keeping the last one a bit longer. Ooh, bagpipes, she said, placing the end of Dash's esophagus in her mouth and the stomach in her armpit. She squeezed and a squirt of acid hit her tongue. Ew! Oh, hey look, there's your cupcake, Dash. Okay,
Ooh, it's very hard to come up with voices at this point.
Yeah, because we
hour
almost exhumed all of them.
Yes.
Okay, let's see.
We will figure this out. And when we do,
Yes, we will.
we will use them.
Yes, we will. Almost like the Flim Flam Brothers, but very, top hat, striped vest salesman.
Dash didn't want to hear her tormentor. She had slipped from consciousness minutes ago. Pinkie, not yet satisfied, hit Dash with another adrenaline shot. Dash woke up for the last time, her heart pounding. Warm blood flowed from the wound in her chest in great spurts. It wouldn't be long now. Pinkie brought Dash around onto her back again and straddled the blue pony's chest, scaffold at the ready.
Do it in a narrator, like someone who would open a movie.
Dinosaurs.
Actually that could work. Billions and billions of years ago.
Oh, so you want me to be like
Carl
Carl
Sagan.
Sagan?
Yes, Carl Sagan at the ready.
You know, Rainbow Dash, I'm disappointed. I thought you would have lasted longer. I really wanted to spend more time with you before we got here. But I guess it's my fault. I should have taken it a little slower. Oh well, it was really nice knowing you, Dash. The blade sunk into the blue throat and worked its way up to Dash's chin. Coming back down, Pinkie's scalpel then circled Dash's neck. The last thing Rainbow Dash felt was her skin being cut away from the skull, and the metal of the blade scraping her teeth. Then she was gone, like the millions and millions of atoms leaving her body. All the vital organs now gone from her bowels. Okay, what was that?
Fun. That was a crazy.
Do that.
Okay.
I love it already.
Pinkie Pie stared into the mirror. She had done a really good job, even keeping the eyelids. She winked, and Dash winked back. Pinkie Pie smiled, but still she was sad that her friend was now gone. Dash had only lasted 50 minutes, not nearly as long as Pinkie had wanted. She looked back at the cadaver hanging in the center of the room, the last of her friend's fluids draining into a pan. Yep, no more Rainbow Dash.
It was almost like the Joker, but just not as menacing. But I love it. I love it. All right, what are we bringing it home with?
Can you do a Morgan Freeman impression?
As she looked, Pinkie cocked her head. She began to take notice of the fact that there really wasn't much damage to the corpse. In fact, the pink pony mused. I think an idea exploded in her head. She was good at sewing, and she had all the pieces. All she had to do was put them back together. Yeah, she just had to get some stuff, and then bingo, she'd have Rainbow Dash forever. In fact, thought Pinkie, that's what she'd do for all of her best friends when their numbers came up.
Could I do the last few sentences?
Sure, go ahead.
She was so excited, she skipped right over to the body with her Skinner to get started. The cupcakes could wait. Pinkie had a friend to make.
The end.
My God!
Oh, God, you vile, vile turtle!
Yep, I know how to read a fan fiction.
Oh, wow, this was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. We ought to do it sometime other than this.
Yeah, we gotta do this more often, and I do apologize for the bit of raspiness in my voice. At the time of this recording, I was fighting a bit of a lump in my throat.
Alrighty, so with all that said, if you guys want to see another one of these fanfiction readings, try to find a short fanfiction, leave it in the comments, and we will probably do this again. Maybe next week, week after that. Who knows? It'll probably take a while to edit this audio.
Yeah, we'll see. All with a bunch of timing and all that stuff. Timing!
Timing!
Oh God, that sounded awful for me. I need to get better.
Yeah. With it, like, almost an hour and a half of voice acting, I'm sure our voices aren't in the best condition.
All right.
So,
Well, thanks for listening, folks, and we'll catch you on the rebound.
yep.